Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Big Time Tutoring and Mentoring. I am once again your favorite tutor, Jeremiah, and I will be going over integers and their opposites. We'll be working on two worksheets this session. And once again, if you have something in particular that you would like us to go over, and they are between grades of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, no matter what subject, please put them in the comment section below, and we'll be glad to get to that as quick as possible. We will be trying and make an effort to reach about 4 videos a day, if possible, 2 as in the minimum. And so, yeah, let's just get right into the lesson, shall we? Let me just go ahead. All right. Okay. All right. So, as you can see clearly, we'll be identifying integers and their opposites. And first, let's take a look. It's always great to look at your essential question because that tells you what you'll be doing. The essential question states, how do you identify an integer and its opposite? So that's what we'll be learning how to do in this lesson. So let's look at explore activity 1. Positive and negative numbers. Let's take out our highlighter. So remember, that's what we need, our highlighter. Positive numbers are numbers greater than 0. Positive numbers can be written with or without a plus sign. Here's an example. 6. 6 is positive, but you don't see a plus sign, do you? No. But negatives can only be negative with a negative sign. So let's read the next part. For example, 3 is the same as plus 3. Negative numbers are numbers less than 0. Negative numbers must always be written with a negative sign. So if I say, hey, I have 6, if I have a negative 6 and I write the number 6, it's not really negative because there's no negative sign. I'm sorry, there's no negative sign in there that indicates that the number is negative. All right, so let's just move on. So we got through that. Great. Let's go on to that. All right. Next, the number 0 is neither positive nor negative. 0 is more of a neutral number. 0 is like a maybe. If somebody asks you, do you like something or dislike it, and you say, little both. Negative is not a little both. I'm sorry, 0 is not a little both. 0 is just exactly what it is. It's like you can say I'm neutral about a situation. Neutral means you don't have a feeling on it. That's what 0 is. It's plain. It's not negative. It's not positive. Let's move on. Right here, as you can see, you see -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. They have a negative sign in front of them, which makes them negative. And if you notice, if they are to the left side of the 0, they are negative. If they are to the right side of the 0, they are positive. Okay, got that. Now, let's get into our first word problem, or problem in general. The elevation of a location describes its height above or below sea level, which has elevation 0. Elevations below sea level are represented by negative numbers, and elevations above sea level are represented by positive numbers. So let's get out our highlighter. Now that we do 2 readings, one just to see what you're going to be doing, and 2 for an understanding. So let's reread that. The elevation of a location describes its height above or below sea level, which has elevation 0. Elevations below sea level are represented by negative numbers. Remember that. They're represented by negative numbers. And let's just make it simple. Okay, elevations above sea level are represented by positive numbers. So here we go. The graph, the table below shows the elevation of several locations in a state park. Graph the location on the number line according to their elevations. Now let's look at the location. We have a little Butte, Crowder Creek, Dinosaur Valley, Mesa Ridge, and Juniper Trail. So let's look at the first one. A. Let's take a look at A. We have an elevation of 5. Is it negative or is it positive? The 5 is positive because there's no negative sign in front of it. So let's graph the first one. We have 5. And they want us to graph it with the letters. So, wow, that looks good. Okay, just redo that. But get the idea. We're going to be graphing it at 5. It's going to be A. All right. Now let's go on to the next. We're here. Crowder Creek. It is a B. So it says -5 Crowder Creek. Is it negative or is it positive? It's negative. So on the number line, where are the negative numbers? Are they to the right of the 0 or to the left? They are to the left of the 0 on the number line. So let's graph that. We have that right there. Let's just make it a little smaller. And we're going to be graphing a B. All right. Perfect. Make sure it's directed on that -5, just so there's no confusion. Next, we have Dinosaur Valley, which is C. We have a -9 or a -9. So it will be on the left side of the 0. So it's right here. All right. And we know that we need to make sure we indicate what it is. Next, we have 8. Where will we graph it? To the right or to the left of the 0? To the right, because those are where the positive numbers are. Okay. So, should we go right here? 8. Now, remember, we need that right there. All right. Last one. We have Juniper Trail, which is E. And we have our number, which is 3. Is that 3 positive or negative? It's positive, so to the right side of the 0. So let's just put that 3. And let's just make it a little smaller. All right, and we have E. Okay. 3. All right. There. We're done with that. That's simple. Now, next time we do this, it shouldn't take that long. We should move through it very quickly. What point on the number line represents sea level? Let's take a look. Back to our problem because we highlighted things. The elevation of a location describes its height above or below sea level. Sea level is an elevation of 0. Sea level has an elevation of 0. And if it's above the sea level, it could be 0.1 or higher. Or in most cases, it's 1 or higher. Not -1, but +1. Now, if it's below sea level, if it's under 0 or to the left side on a number line, it's -0.1. Or in most cases, -1 or lower. Okay, so now let's go back to the problem. What point on the number line represents sea level? If sea level is 0, that means clearly our point is 0. Let's just get another color. Okay. All right. Let's go with here. but with a pencil, of course, we can make that look way better. All right, so it's 0. Which location is the closest to sea level, and how do you know? So now what we need to do is clean that up. Just erase some of that. All right. Okay, so now let's get the numbers. Right over here, let's highlight them. So we highlighted our numbers. Which one of those numbers are closer to 0? Because remember, sea level is an elevation of 0. So which elevation from the locations are closer to 0? And right under that, you see a number line. So let's take a look. So is -9, let's just go there. Is -9 closer to 0 than any other one? No, -9 is not. So we know it's not that. Nope, it is not that. So let's try something else. All right. Is 8 closer to 0 than any other one? No, we know that. So, boop. Now we have -5 and +5. Which one will be closer to 0? They're the same distance away. They're 5 units away from 0, both of them. But as you can see between E is in front of 5, meaning E is just 3 units or 3 feet away from 0. So E, which is ultimately 3, is closer to 0, which is sea level, than any other number. So this is closer to this. So which location is closer to sea level, and how do you know? So let's just say it'll be, we know it's already 3. How do you know? So now you'll fill that out. All right. Next. But basically how you know is because when you look at the number line, 3 is the shorter distance away than any other number or letter is. All right. B. Which 2 locations are the same distance from sea level? Are these locations above or below? Let's go take a look at the graph. We discussed this earlier. Here we go. We have, let's just erase all that. Okay. All right. So we know we have a 5, well, a -5, we know that. We know we have a 5. We know we have a -9. We know we have a 8. You can just put a slash or something like that. And we know we have a -3. All right. So which one is the same distance away from 0? Which is ultimately, once again, sea level. Is 9 and -9? Oh, nope, because we only have a -9. It has to be 2 of the same. It has to be the same number, but it can be different integers. One can be positive, one can be negative. So let's look at -9. Does -9, 9 have a pair that are identical? No, because nothing is graphed here. So it can't be 9. I mean -9. Now, let's try 8. Does 8 have a pair on the other side? Do you see -8 that is plotted? No, there's no -8. So it can't be that. So let's take a look at -5 right here. Does -5 have a pair that is 5? Yes, it does. So they are both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's try the other way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are both 5 um disk 5 units away than the other. So -5 and 5 are the same. So which two locations have the same distance from sea level? Well, if it's 5 and -5, then we already know. We already know. So let's just go here. 5 and -5. So it has to be A and B, right? It's A and B. Are these locations above or below sea level? Well, below sea level is actually -5, and above sea level is actually 5. So so answer that part. All right. So next, okay. So next we have, let's get a different color here. Oh, bingo. All right. Which location has the least elevation? How do you know? Okay, so the least elevation is the lowest elevation there is. So let's take a look. Let's put it in order from greatest to least. Greatest, let's just make that smaller. Right there. Greatest to least. So here we go. We have 5. 5 is the highest positive number. 5 is more than -5. So we already know 5 is our greatest. What's after 5? I'm sorry, 5 is not our greatest. It's 8. 8 is our greatest. So we can cross that off now. We got 8 done. After 8, we have 5. Okay? We have 5 done. What's next? Pick the, okay, so the -3 is next because it's only 3 units away from 0. Okay, so we have -3. Now, what's next? It will be -5 because it's only 5 units away from 0. Now, next we have -9, which is the furthest one away from 0. So which one is the furthest away from sea level? Good job. It is -9. So which location has the least elevation? It's Dinosaur Valley, which is C. How do you know? We just went over it. From greatest to least, it goes boop, 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 boop. And 9 is the furthest away from 0. So you know the answer to that. Great. Now that we have that all complete, that is the first page. Now we will move on to the second page and our last page for today's session. Well, this lesson session. Let's just do that. Please, if you're using a paper or a notepad, draw a line to start. It's the same topic, but just draw a line so we can begin the very next one. All right. Okay. Analyze relationships. Morning Glory Stream is 7 feet below sea level. So let's get our markers out. We know that sea level, we can say stands for SL is sea level. So SL is sea. SL is sea level, and we always know that sea level has an elevation of 0. Always. So morning glory stream is 7 feet above. I'm sorry, 7 feet below sea level. What number represents the elevation of morning glory stream? So if it's 7 below sea level, it's 7 units away from 0 on the left side. But because it's below, that is a key word that is a negative number. Things like below, decrease, fluctuating downwards, things like that mean below, mean you're subtracting. So let's just go. So if it's 7 below, we know it's 7. Are we done? No, we're not. It's negative 7. If you leave out that negative, what will happen? Can you tell me? If negative 7 was the real answer and we just left it at 7, then the person checking your answers would say, hey, 7 is positive, because for positive numbers, you don't need a plus sign in front of it for it to be positive. It can be alone, just like this. So anybody can mistake for positive. That's why it's very important that we put our negative symbol. All right, next. Explain how to graph the elevation of morning glory stream on a number line. We've been discussing this the entire time. So how would you graph the elevation of morning glory stream? We have a number line right there. We know that all the negatives are to the left of the 0. All the positives are to the right of the 0. So where would you mark morning glory stream if it is negative 7? Figure that out. And so we already know. I saw that. Here we go. Opposites. Two numbers are opposite if one on the number line, they are the same distance from 0, but on different sides of 0. So if we just very quickly go back to, all right, we'll go back to 5 and negative 5. 5 and negative 5 are opposites because they are the same distance away from 0, but they are on two different sides. So they are opposite because one is positive and one is negative. Remember that. That's how you know if it's an opposite. Let's finish reading. For example, oh, see, right there, negative 5 and 5 are opposites. 0 is its own opposite. Integers. Integers are the set of all whole numbers and their opposites. So negative 7, is that an integer? Yes, because if we had 7 and negative 7, would it be opposite? Yes. But remember, when it comes down to whole numbers are like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On graph paper, use a ruler or a straight edge to draw a number line. Label the number line with each integer from negative 10 up until 10. Hold your number. Oh, we're just not going to do that. We're just not going to do that. Feel free to do that if you want, though. All right, next. We're going to skip past A and B. We're going to go to C. So if we skip past A and B and we're at C, what is the opposite of the opposite of 3? Well, what is the same pair as 3, but on the left side of the number line instead of the right? It's, what did you say? Right. It's -3. Great job. Now let's go on to the very next one. Reflect. Explain how your number line shows that -8 and 8 are opposites. Well, they're the same distance away from 0 and on two different sides. Duh. Multiple representation. Explain how to use your number line to find the opposite of -6. Well, go to the right side and from 0, count up to 6 units away from 0. So let me explain that. Right here. So if we had to figure out what is the opposite of -5, I would go, since -5 is on, it says -5 is already on the left side, the other opposite has to be on the right, meaning it can be any of these numbers. So now what I would do is I go to 0 and count up 5 units, and that's my opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and -5 are my opposites. So how would you find the opposite of -6? Do you know what your opposite would be? It would be 6. +6 is your opposite. And then explain. How do you know? All right. Thank you for attending. Make sure that you like and that you subscribe, because you can use the publicity and the sharing. So like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be posting many, many more. Thank you, and have a very great day.